KBW fans, it's Fuego Del Sol, and before we get to the actual podcast, I got some good news and I got some bad news. Let me start by telling you the bad news first. As you can tell by the title of this video, we have a very special cameo in today's edition of the podcast. Unfortunately, due to some camera technical issues, for the duration of the podcast, some of his face is cut off from the angle of the camera. He will lean into the camera a little bit, lean away. We figured this out after the podcast was already over with, and we didn't want to reshoot the whole podcast because we had such a good conversation and it was such a fun cameo. So we're going to leave the podcast as is. We do recognize what happened and we do apologize for the inconvenience. Hopefully it doesn't ruin your viewing pleasure for too long. Now, to the good news. We've been having an absolute blast with this podcast. We've also been doing react videos now as well, and we want to continue to do this. But it takes a lot of hard work, and we want to give you a chance to help fund some of the things we're doing here on the KBW channel. It's been way too long since we uploaded, and that's why we came back with this podcast. We didn't realize how much we would love this podcast. So in the coming weeks, we will launch a membership here on YouTube that you can join. For as little as $5, you'll be able to get the podcast early, as well as some more exclusive perks. But we want to know what you would like. Tell us below, what would it take for you to subscribe to the KBW membership? You know, we would love to get together more in person, get a lot more guests on this podcast, maybe even film a KBW inspired match. I don't know how many people we could get to do it, but we could get in the ring and eventually do something like that if we had enough support. But completely understand if you just want to watch for free, that's good. Tell us, what would it take? What were some of the perks you think would be great for the podcast? We also plan to do some live streams in the future. Me, Bulldozer, a.k.a. we're going to be reacting live where you can be in the chat with us, asking us questions. We're going to react to Renegade Revolution very, very soon, the whole pay-per-view, and we want you to be there right there with us. So, tell us what you would like from the perks. Tell us what it would take for you to subscribe to the KBW membership. We definitely want to hear from you and all your feedback, and we thank you so much for watching. Sorry again about today's podcast. Hope you enjoy it still.
Ladies and gentlemen, I'm the assassin, AK-47. I am who I am, and I am different from everybody else. You know the drill already. I have the panel with me. I have Fuego Del Sol. I have the Bulldozer. This is the KBW Reunion Podcast, episode 5. Now, I hear something's going on. Someone tell me.
Oh. Yeah. I mean, you know, you got Fuego Del Sol, a.k.a. KAGE, and you want to go ahead and introduce yourself as usual?
It's everybody's favorite commentator, Justin Williamson.
A.k.a.
the Bulldozer.
Yes, sir, the biggest and the baddest. Before we start the podcast, I want to go ahead and shout out, definitely go check out the TikTok account, KBW Wrestling on TikTok. Check out the Instagram account, KBW_Wrestling on Instagram, and be sure to check out the brand new react video that we put up to Money in the Bank 2 last week. We say it every week, but we've loved the support of this podcast so far for the diehard KBW fans that have been coming in and checking us out. It's been incredible to read your comments. If you've been watching and not leaving a comment, just leave a comment down below. Let us know how you feel about it, because we love to hear and chat with you all. We'll definitely be in the comments responding as well. Speaking of comments, last week, Dustin, a.k.a. Bulldozer, had some comments for us to read. Is that what you're thinking this week, Dozer?
Well, we do have some more questions and comments, and we will get to them. But this week is all about a special guest that I have with me today.
Oh, that would explain this new setup you got in the background. It's not your normal recording spot.
Yeah. This is where we recorded when we were all together for the first podcast.
Yes, episode 1.
So just notice, I guess this will be a little surprise. For when you see me in this background, I may have a guest with me.
Who is it gonna be?
Who's the guest?
Today's guest is the most requested guest by far on our podcast comments. It is none other than
we've already revealed the Bama Kid, though. We've already revealed the Bama
Kid. Besides the Bama Kid and Hazard.
Okay.
It is none other than the top player in the game, Pacman. You want to join him?
We got him.
Here he comes.
We got him on the podcast.
Pacman's on the Look at him.
Man, you already know my
How you
gamers have been
doing?
requesting me, man, so I had to bless them with my presence, man.
Hey!
let's go.
The top player
What's
on
going
the
on,
whole KBW game.
Dude, this
Hey,
nigga
good to see
How
solid.
you
fellas
doing?
again.
Yeah, Pacman, it's good to see
Yeah,
you, brother.
Hey, man, I'm just trying to keep up with y'all, man. Been watching the podcast, been seeing the comments. So I was like, man, what I got to do to get on? So I'm just excited to be here. Been going through different things in life.
Yeah, tell us
Got-
about yourself. Tell us what you've been going on.
Yeah,
Man.
real quick. We should update the people and tell them that, hey,
Yeah.
as y'all know, I am the oldest of the panel. I'm 28 years old. Both Dustin and AK, Bulldozer and AK, are both a year younger than me. They're at 27.
27.
However, Pacman is a little bit younger than all of us. Tell them your age, Pac.
Man, 25 years old.
Oh, to
25.
be 25.
Only
again,
25.
boys.
Yeah, y'all finna go to the nursing home.
Oh,
So-
yeah, man. Some old geezers up here.
You know, it's been 10 years since KBW was in his prime. And we actually just reacted to your first video ever, was Money in the Bank 2. Do you have any specific memories of Money in the Bank 2? Do you remember the first day I asked you to come be a part of Money in the Bank 2? Tell me your thoughts or any type of reflections you have on that.
Well, I was already a big wrestling fan. You know, I remember, even as kids, when y'all would come over, we'd all be watching the pay-per-view and everything. So you already know
Yeah.
wrestling was in our blood. So
I should say so. I say, of course, my two younger brothers, both D-Man and CJ,
Yep.
your father would go ahead and be kind enough to rent the pay-per-views, and my dad being a wrestling fan and your dad being a wrestling fan, we would all come over to your house, and y'all had a ton of action figures. We had a ton of action figures. So just growing up, we always had a bond of wrestling, even though you were a few years younger than me, but more closer to my brother Dawson's age or my brother Colin's age, D-Man and CJ. And so we used to always come over and talk to y'all. And because our families were close, y'all would come over to our house on several occasions. And just so happened the first time y'all come over while we were filming KBW was your first video. I keep saying y'all. I think there's a secret that we need to
man,
drop
might as well
right
go
now.
ahead and pop the secret. Go ahead and spill all the beans today.
You say it. You say it. It's
Go
you.
ahead,
It's your
go
family.
do it. Say it.
Whether y'all believe it or not, I have a twin brother that was on KBW the same time I was on KBW.
Hmm.
Wait a minute, so it's like a Mary Kate and Ashley situation?
What's
Like
going
y'all were
on?
just switching out?
Hey.
Y'all were both Pac-Man?
We both had the same opportunity because you gave it to us. But y'all ain't gonna believe who it was. It wasn't Nick the Brick. It wasn't T-Rex. It wasn't who you even expected. It was the one and only, the Beast.
The Beast. My nemesis.
The
That's
Beast.
correct. The Beast is fraternal
Yes.
twin brothers with Pac-Man. That is a bomb we've never dropped in 10 years.
And I'm
the
older.
Beast.
I'm older. He's bigger than
And
me.
he's
I'm
older.
older.
The Beast. Different color hair, all of that. And so it's very funny because no one ever suspected it. Not one time. Plenty of times people thought this person was brothers or these people were cousins. Never once did anybody in the comments suspect that Pac-Man and the Beast were fraternal twin brothers. Insane to drop this to y'all now. But they were. We're not making it up. It's true. I used to go over to their house all the time. And so his first video was also Money in the Bank 2, where we all had that infamous match together.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
I did want to say,
I cut you off earlier, but yeah,
Yeah.
what thoughts do you have on that video?
Well, like I said, was already wrestling fans, and when you asked me, to be in the match and everything, I was kind of nervous because, of course, we always did the wrestling, backyard wrestling and everything, but still, I still had a couple things I needed to work on, so I was kind of nervous already, but got people to show me the ropes, including you. And different of the other wrestlers in KBW show me the ropes and everything, and man, it just fit. So
Yeah, you reminded me a lot of me because you were fearless in a lot of ways, and you were very athletic. You were hitting backflips on the trampoline. Like, not a lot of people could do the flips and stuff that me and you could do on a trampoline. And then I started coming up with spot ideas for suplex off the ladder. Who chimes in? I'll superplex you off the ladder, right? Who you had all of these ideas to help make the match better. Never scared, right? And we continue to do that. Like we did it in Money in the Bank 3, where you hit me with the game over off the top of the ladder. Yep. That was super up high. That was a classic clip I remember. And just even I prided myself as like I'm probably the only one that's gonna take any major crazy bumps. And like I would take crazy moves on the floor on the outside, but I remember specifically you and Pitbull coming up with the spot in Money in the Bank 3 where you agreed to take a choke slam on the ladder.
Man, my head ricocheted off that ladder.
Oh my goodness!
Like that, I expected it to look, kind of break my fall, but man, I ain't gonna lie, that hurt.
Oh boy. No way, he got a no, Pitbull, don't do this. Oh my God.
But then that led to another match with you and Pitbull. I'm jumping ahead. I'm jumping real far. But I just wanted to point out how tough you were and how all in you were about KBW and the moves and things. And that's why I feel like we had great chemistry.
Don't forget how tough I was when I took that speed sign to my back.
We've talked about the infamous speed limit sign with A.K.A. Bulldozer has already gotten it off his chest that when A.K.A. swung anything, we were all victims. We all were victims to that speed limit sign.
Yeah, I apologized last week to Dozer and all the KBW wrestlers. Now I'm apologizing to you, Pacman. I did get a little carried away sometimes. I was really into it, but I was like, I had to make it look good for the camera. I didn't want to be soft, so I laid it in there, and I respect you guys for taking it every time. So yeah, for sure.
But Pacman, if you remember, A.K.A. did not like getting hit with things at all, if you remember. No. So he'd lay it in and then not let us return the favor.
Oh, yeah, I like the dish. I didn't like to take it.
He kind of already understood. We in the moment, we're already shooting, and we already in the match. They can't really say nothing about it, so he just went forward.
And then, like, we were talking about it when we were reacting to the video. It's like, oh, Pacman and Bama Kid have a little bit of chemistry. Maybe we can make them a tag team. And I feel like it was a good way to finally get Bama Kid on the winning track because I only created Bama Kid to lose. His main goal was to lose so KAGE didn't have to lose. But fans got behind him because I was doing a lot of athletic maneuvers. And then, again, Money in the Bank 2 went so viral that, it really helped put you and Bulldozer and Bama Kid in a lot of ways on the map, and D-Man. That's if you think about it, you, Bama Kid, D-Man, unfortunately Bulldozer was a heel for the most part, but you three were like three of the top fan favorites outside of me and AK and Dozer.
I remember old Bulldozer, he got knocked off the trampoline, broke his neck, man. Now that was probably one of the, I know it probably hurt him, but I'm over here, like, I'm tucking my head just laughing. Cutting up. Man, I ain't see that coming because I think it one of Beast that wound up, doing his little signature move on him and everything, and all of a sudden I seen
the runaway train.
Bulldozer just gone.
Tumbling.
Yeah, we talked about it on the reacts. We've talked about it on the podcast as one of his worst bumps he ever took. That's a good jumping off point. What is the worst move? Do you remember the most painful move you took in your whole tenure of KBW? Is there something that stands out to you the most that hurt badly?
I know we already talked about me and Pitbull when he choke slammed me, but there was also a time when me and Bulldozer we wrestled. I think it was the second time we wrestled or something.
Yeah, I watched it.
And he power bombed me.
It was a good spot.
It was a good power bomb, but I landed wrong. And I landed right here. I'm thinking this whole time, he's finna land on me and it's finna be over. And
this is on the trampoline?
Yeah.
I watched.
Did you just fold it over on your neck?
Yeah, I just kind of folded him on his neck.
He's going up for the huge power bomb. Sit down, power bomb.
I was like, when I said, I was like, man, that was a good spot.
It knocked the breath out of me because the whole time that I'm trying to recoup myself, I'm trying to catch my breath because it took the breath out of me. I'm like trying to growl or whatever I got to do to catch that next breath. But thank God, I think the match was already over. on that power bomb. So.
Yeah, well, I do want to say that, for us to have never really had a rivalry or anything, we were kind of in a lot of stuff together, me and you. We had obviously Money in the Bank 2 we were in together, which was your debut. Then we had our first match together, which was for the Undisputed title. And then we had...
Which, again, I did not let people wrestle each other that when it wasn't me and AK in the match. That's my hazard, because I didn't trust people, but I trusted you two enough. Like, if there was a ranking of who I trusted to have a match without me or AK in it, you two would be the next two on the list. It would be Pacman and Big Time Mike, but that was much later on. Big Time is a... But even Big Time didn't have a great memory. He was just off the cuff crazy.
Oh yeah, he was just winging it.
But y'all wrestled in a 1-on-1 where you decided you didn't want the belt. Is that the match you're talking about?
No,
the second time.
So the second time
he still didn't want it in.
I watched both videos the other day, and so the second match was his title for my qualifying spot on Team KBW. And I mean, it was a pretty good match. We both had our good spots, and I do remember I hit him like every finisher I had at the time.
Wait a minute, I have no recollection of this match.
Yeah, you were at ringside.
Yes.
Yeah.
Y'all wrestled because there was also in between those two matches was Renegade Revolution where you won the belt. There's the Beast versus Pacman.
That was the second time.
That was Renegade Revolution is what I was talking about when I won the belt.
Okay.
Because I remember I come out and said, I didn't even want to wrestle for the belt. I was just wrestling for the beat up the Renegades.
But I don't remember this other qualifying spot match.
Okay,
I have no recollection of this.
For Team KBW.
KBW.
It's for that second time because I remember we had look at the video.
But I wrestled you. I got my win back on Pacman. I qualified first, right? AK qualified by beating Jacob Storm. Bulldozer qualified by beating Bama Kid. I have no recollection of y'all challenging each other again for the spot. This happened?
Yeah, I think it was like the kind of the build up to my turn on execution because I literally watched the promo and it was like, I don't want the belt. Won't we make it interesting? We wrestled for my qualifying spot. And even at the end, when I beat him, I told him I still didn't want the belt, and you were acting pissed or whatever as KAGE, and I think that was kind of the downfall of the start of the downfall of execution and whatnot.
Wow, this is blowing my mind. So, what was the absolute first time y'all wrestled, besides Money in the Bank?
I remember.
That's all I remember is Money in the Bank, qualifying match, and then the triple threat with the Beast.
Okay, that's what I'm confusing. I thought y'all had two singles matches. No, okay, that makes way more sense. I'm sorry. I was going crazy because I remember the first one where you said I don't even want the belt, and you gave it back, and then we left it up for grabs for the triple threat with the Beast. Again, another match that Bulldozer was in full control of because I couldn't be there. We needed the match filmed. So he went and picked y'all up. He brought y'all to his house. Y'all planned the match all together. Y'all filmed the match all together. And I was not a part of it at all. And I remember watching the finishing product and I was like, man, I am proud of you three for how good that match turned out.
The most disappointing thing about that match is how dark it got so fast.
Oh, yeah, it did get dark.
From like daylight to just darkness. You could tell we was kind of rushing it up at the end.
At the end of the day, though. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, go ahead.
At the end of the day, I know you say you're proud of us, but rather who it may be, if they ain't got the heart to show up each and every day, like most wrestlers did, you ain't gonna stick it out. You ain't gonna try to remember. But if you love what you do and you love to, show the fans that that this is what we do it for, and then. Man, you'll do anything you got to do. You'll remember the match. You'll put in the hard work, put on the show. You'll take the licks, take the pain. You'll do what you got to do, man.
I agree. I mean, I've said this before. It's like some people couldn't do KBW anymore because they lived far away or they moved away or they couldn't get to it. But then there was other people that lived very close by. They just didn't have the heart for it. My own brother, CJ, was the world champion, a part of a major storyline, but his heart was not in it. Right, he didn't care about coming that often. He didn't care about putting hard work into matches, and so that's why when we could get rid of him and make AK the leader of the Renegades, we moved on from him. But that just meant more to me that the people that cared, like I have like dedicated roster. We had me, Bulldozer, AK. We had you and your brother, the Beast. We had Maxzilla, D-Man, Mick the Brick, T-Rex, Big Time Mike, Pitbull, the Great Dane. Like I tried to then transition into storylines for y'all that actually made sense for the people that cared and wanted to be a part of KBW. I wanted to reward them for it. Eventually, we got Paul Wall back, and y'all had a match together as well, which was good, but not great. Because I remember after taking the title off of you and putting it on the Bulldozer, I told you straight up, I said, hey, you're really good. You're about to go on a losing streak. Because I have a plan to put the Money in the Bank you're going to win the Money in the Bank. So I'm just going to have you lose for the next couple months. But I promise you it's going to pay off because you and the Bama Kid are winning the tag titles and you're going to win the Money in the Bank. But you still did not like it. You're like, man, I'm always losing, man. I'm trying to beat up.
only thing I know, I guess the reason I had to really put my say-so in it, saying I didn't lose, I kept on seeing a lot of people saying, Pacman keeps on losing his touch. I'm like, oh man, I gotta let the folks know I still got it, So, but hey, I was with whatever what's best for the business. So
And that's actually what I want to talk about more. The Bama Kid and your tag team, because back to kind of what you said earlier, you took a jobber, somebody who was meant to lose in the Bama Kid, and then this kind of newish guy who, blew up. Who at the time, and I don't know if you intentionally did it or not, but you put two of the hottest stars in KBW together. You had no other choice but to put the tag titles on them. Like, they were gonna be stars. They had to be.
Oh, that's probably the most fun I had in KBW by far, as with Bama Kids. So.
Oh, that's awesome. I'm glad to hear that. It makes me feel good. It's
Oh.
so weird. It was a hard balance, right? It was balancing not trying to be selfish and give KBW fans what they want. Right?
Oh, yeah,
I know me and
man.
AK and me gotten a ton of battles about like KAGE is already winning this or Bama Kid has got these belts, right? Like I didn't want to overstack the company and put all the titles on myself, especially now as an independent wrestler. Seeing independent companies do that, it makes me so upset. But you want to give it to the people that are most dedicated to it. And like I remember one of the first times realizing we had a great chemistry is like we did a tag match before we ever won the tag titles, just us two versus Mick the Bricks and T-Rex at T-Rex's house, right?
Yeah.
And we put on this cool little tag match. I don't know if you remember this, but he had a bunch of workers working on a truck over in the backyard. And as we're doing all these moves, they're like popping. They're going nuts. They're like, oh! And that's another match I'm proud of because it was the first time I was like, oh man, Mick the Brick and T-Rex are catching on. They're clicking as a tag team. Bama Kid and Pacman are catching on. They're clicking as a tag team. We have more. Our roster's big enough to change focus and put focus on other people than just put it on me and AK and Bulldozer, if that makes sense. And so it was such a fun time. And I feel like it all went so fast. Like that year, 2013, was like the hot stretch for us. And as fast as it happened, it feels like it was over way too quick. And I wish it didn't end as quick as it did. But, of course, life takes over.
Sure.
Absolutely. But I want to go back real quick. AK, you had a match against Pacman, and you agreed to lose to him early on to help try to put him on the map. Do you have any recollection of this match? Do you remember it? What do you think?
I do remember it because I was like, that was the big thing. Because I think you said, oh, yeah, Pacman might lose this one because he's against me, and I want to kind of like always mostly winning most of the time. Since I don't know how many championships. Like, do you know like if you had the most times being a champion, or was it me most times being?
Well, we can count them up real fast, right?
Yeah.
You won Undisputed Championship. You won the Undisputed Championship.
Yeah. When
you went on that triple threat match with Michigan boy Nick Frazier, right?
Right.
Then you eventually lost it to me, but you won the world title from Bulldozer. We vacated it, and you won it again, right? So 2 times. You eventually lost it, and you didn't win another championship until you beat CJ at Renegade Revolution in the 4-way to get the title. Yeah. You held that championship the whole time until KBW pretty much ended. And then you won the Native American Championship from Hazard in an open challenge. So you're a 5-time champion if we count it like that.
5 times.
But you would only won the title. You was a 1-time champion when you gave him that shot and let him roll you up in that match.
And just looking back on it, I just felt like it was just time to shine. He needed the win more than I needed the win, because all the comments, like we've been talking about for a long time, Pacman is like a fan favorite. They wanted him to win. They're behind Pacman. He was having a great run. I was like, I'm not going to mess it up just because I'm the AK-47. I'll take the pin. Like, Pacman's doing.
But I don't even think that he was on that rise yet. I really want to give you credit for that because you didn't have to do it. Like I said, he did Money in the Bank. Yeah. Then we had a triple threat match with the Beast and Pacman and Bama Kid that I think the Beast won, if I'm not mistaken. And then we needed a match, and you had beat the Bama Kid in another match somewhere right there at that time, AK. So, like, you were on a roll, and you had just announced, you were changing from the yes into the different.
Yes,
and he did not need to win, but when you said, hey, I'll put him over, then that had me thinking of, like, okay, well, we got this Renegades things coming, and I had this idea, what if I dropped both titles in the same night? And I was like, well, who do I drop it to? There's only one guy to drop it to, and I think this is the match that put him on the map that I'm extremely proud of. It's also got one of the funniest starts that we've ever seen. I'll let Pacman take over.
And so, of course, because me and KAGE going against each other. But before, we was pretty much backstage, doing the promos and all that stuff. Well,
I love how we take it so seriously and say backstage. It's just the side of the house. We went around the side of the house.
I'm living the dream.
Same here. I live the dream too.
A reality. So
I still don't like calling it a trampoline. It was the ring to us.
Yeah,
it was the ring.
When I was doing it with other kids at home, it was a trampoline. But when I was with y'all, it was the ring. So that's why I took it more serious. But back to the story, man. I think you was talking at first, and then you was talking about how bad you was gonna whoop me and put a beating on me, and all of a sudden I just said, okay, this is what he really thinks, and I just rushed back and just come back full force, and without even knowing, I literally hit you, and you can see my reaction. I'm like, oh my God, I can't believe I just hit this dude.
There you go. There you go. That's what you get, son. You don't mess with us. We can't be.
I'm thinking the whole time, all right, we got to redo this so it don't seem as bad. But, man, it was perfect because it was true emotions. It was live moments. So it was pretty cool, and I liked it.
And I want to say, I think I was me filming that because I remember you was like, man, can we do that? And I remember Kate's like, no, man, we got to keep that in. That was perfect.
That was great. You smacked the hell out of me. I'm thinking this whole time,
this dude's finna come back. I'm like, oh, snap, he's really going to give it to me in the ring now. But I remember when I made that face, I was looking at a.k.a. A.k.a. was over here just laughing and stuff like that.
I was laughing
like,
so bad.
Yeah, it was probably another funniest moment I've
Oh my God, that clip is great. I'm sure they just saw it. Yeah. They just saw the clip. I inserted it in the podcast. But to set up that story a little bit more, the Renegades had already attacked, right? They broke my foot. I was on crutches. I'd finally been healed, so I could finally defend one of my championships. And so I come in, I light everybody up. It's you, it's a couple other members of the KBW locker room right there. I'm talking crap on AK. I'm talking crap to everybody. I'm in full confidence cage mode of just going, oh, it's gonna be you? You gonna face me? What makes you think you gonna be able to beat me? And then you rear back and you hit me. But again, I pride myself on being tough and trying to make it look good. And so I immediately was like, we gotta leave that in. That was great. That was fantastic.
I'm over here apologizing to you.
No, bring it more. AK didn't apologize to you with those back hits and with that side. You don't apologize to me. No. But then we lead to the match.
AK about to be on his apology tour with those.
Exactly. every time you bring a new guest, every time you bring a new guest to KBW, they're always gonna bring up, yeah, man, my worst bump is AK with that damn speed limit sign. I'm like, I gotta apologize to him now.
Yeah, that's great. And then we lead to the match, man. KAGE versus Pacman. And we set it up in a way, it was a long match. I think we went around like 20 something minutes, or the whole video is like 29 minutes. So I would assume we went around 20 something minutes. And it was just a lot of good stuff. We planned a lot of good things. And then eventually we go to the outside. We're fighting back and forth. You scoop me up for that classic game over finishing move.
Oh yeah.
You hit me, land exactly right there on the chair, toss me in. 1, 2, 3. Oh my God, huge upset. We made a star in that moment, right? Then we made it a moment. The Beast and CJ come out and attack me afterwards. And then D-Man cashes in his money in the bank. And then you see the KBW roster come in and hold D-Man up above his head. And we got that shot in the intro of D-Man on the shoulders and you with your title. Y'all both new champions. I thought it was like a cool bridging the gap of like the old KBW guard to the new KBW guard in a cool little way.
Kind of like the underdogs on top now. So
yeah, it was perfect scene that we displayed there, and it really felt like, man, KBW has turned like over a new leaf. It wasn't all. That's what felt great about it. I know me and KAGE, we go back and forth about how, you know, we are so dedicated to KBW, and a lot of people look at us, you know, the faces of KBW. But I was just so proud that y'all had that spotlight in that moment, and y'all, because y'all deserve it. It's like, man, like, yeah, we kind of started this thing. I know like a lot of people look at us as faces, but seeing y'all up there, that shot, I was like, damn, man, we fucking did it. We, you know, kind of passed the torch in a way.
Yeah, there's this sense of pride you take in the storytelling that we had, right? And it's like almost above ourselves, above our own glory, the collective glory of the story is like so cool. And that was a great moment. And it helped me turn babyface, right? It's like people hated me for so long. Then the Renegades attack me and I'm dealing with that. Then I lose both championships because of the Renegade. It almost forces people were like, yeah, he got what he deserved. But also, man, dang, that was so much. That was a lot to take.
Yeah.
It helps lead into the babyface turn, which I'm very proud of as
I ain't
well.
gonna lie, you,
But like,
you gotta really think about, like, I'll say this. Yeah, I did. You know, had a lot of learning experiences in that match. But if you're wrestling with somebody that you can connect with and you can work good with, that's what it's all about. When you can connect with them, that's what makes the match great. So, you know, wrestling with KAGE. Well, I ain't trying to make his head a little bit bigger than it already is, but when you think about it, when you working with somebody that's, you know, like KAGE or AK, you know, he pretty much carried me, and he saw that this match is right here, but we can take it to a whole nother level and make it even greater. So that's what I appreciate when I wrestle men like y'all and or kids at that time, but still, you know, it was.
we thought of ourselves as adults.
Oh man,
we thought of ourselves.
Man, we couldn't. Nobody couldn't tell us nothing.
And that's why KAGE
Yeah,
was in
the
90% of
chemistry.
matches.
The chemistry, yeah, I feel like, you know, but you're only as good as your dance partner, and like we could tell that you had so much potential, and we all wanted to foster that. And you know, AK did it with him putting you over. I did it with helping put the belt on you, and like that. Once you won that title, it was over with. It's like, okay, Pacman is up there, and then we talk about the match that got deleted, but like right after you won the title, there was a 4-way that got put on KBW's channel. It was you versus T-Rex versus Bama Kid versus who's the fourth guy I'm missing here? AK. T-Rex, Bama Kid.
It wasn't me, was it? Was I wasn't.
No, you were the commentator.
I was commentating.
You dressed up specially and wore like a
Oh no, it
pink.
was the Great Dane.
No, he wasn't in the match.
Pitbull.
No. No, this is early on. This is before
Oh.
Mr. O debuted. So it was me. I think it might have been the Beast. So the Beast, T-Rex, Bama Kid, and Pacman. And we had a match to kind of like set you off on your new path and your first defense. And it was really good. And it ended up blowing up. It got over 2 million views before it was reported for, you know, child endangerment and pulled off the channel.
Man,
Yeah.
you would be surprised. I'm not gonna lie. How I didn't at first it was just, you know, wrestling. You know, we trying to make the matches look good. But then I started seeing how the fans are really interacting. They want to interact with me, and I think later on, you're telling us, man, you got to get a Twitter page, man, and get something going on. Man, there was a lot of stuff. Oh man, a lot of people reaching out. Good people, some crazy people. Had some women coming after me. Sorry, ladies, I'm married now.
Sit down. That crazy. I was going through the old matches with him, just kind of refresh my memory before we brought him on. And I swear, see the comment on one of his videos. I think it was mine in his second match. Pacman was always so handsome.
Look, hey, I got to ask y'all something. Please tell me the truth. There used to be this one chick, like I don't know if she was Asian or whatever. No, I'm not even gonna say what race she is or whatever she was. But she would always message me, and she would be asking for pictures, but she wouldn't be asking for pictures, nothing like that. She would be asking me take pictures of my feet.
Oh, I have no recollection of
Look,
this.
I'm thinking this whole time, I was like, all right, this is one of the guys as a fake profile messing around with me. Hey. And I'm still young, so I'm not thinking nothing. I'm like, why you want to see my feet? That's weird.
Did you send them?
Yeah, I sent them.
Yo, this prime years, I'm 17. If he's 3 years younger than me, he's 14 at the time of prime KBW.
Dude.
It was when it was one night. I was staying all night with D-Man and CJ, and I think CJ was out somewhere.
That's your first problem. Don't ever hang out with him.
Hey, we wasn't even. I think, and D-Man was already asleep. So of course, me and her texting and everything, and I'm really in my mind. I'm like, all right, I'm just gonna play along with it because I'm thinking it's one of y'all, and all of a sudden she's sending me pictures. I'm like, man, where they get these pictures from?
This is from your Twitter account, your Pacman Twitter account. What is this?
I think so. Literally, it was because she didn't even know my name. She called me Pacman.
Oh my god!
I don't even remember her name.
What the hell? I never knew this.
But
If you're watching,
this is
much love for you. I'm married now, and I don't send no more feet pictures. So
Hey, ladies. The Bulldozer. I never got messages back. Come on. I never got messages from no women. Come on.
the sexy beast, the Bulldozer. Didn't get any. That's hilarious. I had no clue of this. You never told me this.
never
I thought I told y'all, and you was just laughing about it one time, but I'm thinking y'all was still just playing along with the joke. I'm like, these guys is messing with my head. I promise to God.
You said she sent you pictures. Did they look real? Because in my head, this is a grown man
real.
trying to see some pictures of kids' feet.
That was real.
Oh, that was real.
Real,
Hey,
Yo.
But,
that's wild.
Oh my
but the
god.
That's
thing is,
insane.
that is crazy. That's how much I done blew up. Like, people didn't even know my name. They just knew me as Pacman.
One
And
day
it just
you
blew
playing
up.
on the trampoline with your friends. The next day you sending feet pics and DMs.
Feet
That's
pictures.
why, yo.
Hey! You want some feet pictures? I charge you for a fee. KBWfans.com.
AK's laying on the floor. AK's laying on the floor.
Hey.
I can't. I'm crying. Hold on.
Hey, man. I had to let the fans know that I noticed them trying to come at me. And I gave one opportunity, but they ruined it because it was so weird. But guess what? Pac-Man done found Miss Pac-Man. Now I done got little Pac-Man babies. And
Oh, that's sweet. That's sweet.
let me go ahead and y'all. I seen some of y'all's comments watching some of the videos, and it was blessing seeing most of the comments. But on my return, some of y'all started picking on me, talking about Pac-Man there got chubby, Pac-Man's done ate too many ghosts.
He said he got a little chubby when he come back for the final match. One of the comments was, Pacman done ate too many ghosts. You can't let that.
I was like, they ruthless. I started the gym just because of y'all.
You went to the gym just because of
Just because of y'all.
That's
Motivation,
funny.
brother. Motivation.
That's funny.
Motivation.
Hey,
I'm back in
man.
the game, baby.
Hey man, it's crazy, bro. One day you riding high, sending feed pics. Next day, bro, they trashing you in the comments, bro.
Trash me in
That's
the
the roller
comments.
coaster ride of online,
Can't
bro.
win.
I'm telling
That's
you.
hilarious. I can't believe where this podcast went. My cheeks are hurting from
Hey.
smiling.
I texted you today, KJ, and I told you, man. We finna take this to a whole other level today.
Yeah, we are. That's hilarious. God, I'm trying to get back on track.
Yeah, get back on track. Let's go ahead.
Yo, that's so.
What?
But you said that you got Miss Pacman, you got a new look. The Beast has also found his beauty, and he's also a father now. So shout out to all the fathers from KBW days. You know, you got me, you, and your brother. Also, CJ is a father now. Is there any more fathers I'm forgetting from KBW? There's
Pitbull.
Pitbull is a newly father.
Yeah.
Pitbull is a father. Mick the Brick is now a father. Yeah, we got a couple fathers from KBW's era. That's
Jacob Storm's a father?
Won't you? Oh, Jacob Storm. I gotta become a father just so my child and his can have a match.
Oh my god.
People are asking if this disdain was real on the comments,
what?
and I was like, this disdain. Does Bulldozer really hate Jacob Storm? He didn't hate him. He just wasn't as close friends with him as I was, or as
Y'all
he
remember
was
when
to
Jacob
Nick
Storm
Frazier.
got hit or something? Who hit Jacob Storm that one time, and all of a sudden you just hear it in the background. He's like,
What was that? Yeah, you just hear it in the background.
That's funny. I don't remember. I had to look up the Jacob Storm because that's a whole nother.
There's
When we
not
get
many.
to the KBW TV era, there was 14 episodes of KBW TV where we had multiple matches on the show. Everything is clumped together in my mind. I don't remember them as clearly as I remember everything else. One day we're gonna have to do a live watch-along stream of just watching the KBW episodes back to back, boys. But
I got one thing I want to bring up for Pac-Man. Do you remember how you got the name Pac-Man and how the whole gamer gimmick came to be?
I'll tell you where I got the name Pacman from.
Video game.
Not even a video game. The gamer part came part of it. No, the gamer part didn't come along until KAGE gave me a T-shirt.
it wasn't my T-shirt.
I don't even know whose T-shirt it was, but
think it was
I stole
mine,
it and wore it and I kept it in his
It
trunk.
was
It's my
AK's
t-shirt. It's my
T-shirt.
t-shirt.
It was,
Yeah.
and not only that, you kept wearing my maroon football pants.
Did I ever get
so
those
your whole costume was
Hand-me-downs.
AK shirt and my pants.
Yeah.
And I made him look way better than any of you could.
Hey, also, can you talk about, you had the MMA gloves too. Why don't you chose the...
That were mine as well. That was also
No,
mine.
I thought I had the Nike.
So no, the first we just watched the Money in the Bank match. You had on MMA gloves. Then you eventually switched to Nike gloves. Again, my gloves. I don't know why in
Way
the
better.
world. Right? And so he started doing the AJ Styles thing. But he wore that shirt, and then we named every single one of your moves a game reference. Without a.k.a. Bulldozer commenting, besides your finisher, the game over, which you mentioned, can you remember any other moves of yours that you had video games names
Gotcha.
for?
Cheat code, extra life, and
One more.
I know the game over.
NFL Street. Game Breaker. You had the Game Breaker.
Yeah. Y'all gotta forgive
What was
me.
the extra life? I don't even remember what the extra life was.
I think it was something like the sledgehammer. It was where I know I lift them up and then pretty much like go
Oh,
over.
I thought that was the Game Breaker. What is the Game Breaker? I can't remember what the game. What was
And
the
then-
cheat code?
Cheat code was something like put my foot over your neck and then I have your arm and I just pretty much swing.
Fall
straight.
back. Yeah. Oh yeah, like the play of the day, MVP's old finishing
Yeah.
move. I
That's the cheat
remember
code,
that.
So I always did that move on KAGE or anybody else, it was perfect. I did it on Bulldozer, and I was trying everything I can to flip him over, but it just
No, two hilarious things I want to bring up. So the game over is where you lift them up, right?
yeah.
So both of our matches we had, he tried to hit him and he never hit him, and I just splat on top of him. It's like, man, this dude was getting crushed. And then the second thing you remember, you come out with the mask on.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
And then you.
Oh, yeah, the half black, half yellow mask.
yeah.
I forgot about
Oh,
that.
yeah.
Second match. Listen to this, man. It's crazy.
I think I did it very last minute, Case. Come out, I had like a paintball mask, and I was like, I'm gonna make fun of him when I'm coming out. And I put it on, come out, and I do a series.
I do remember that.
I know.
I do remember that. That's hilarious.
Then you can hear a.k.a. in the background saying, "Look at him, has no remorse, copying the Pacman or something like that, no respect or something."
No respect.
That's hilarious, bro. This is so funny.
love
Oh
this.
my god.
But
Yeah.
but you can go back
think
to
my
I don't know if
favorite
you
match.
you finished the Pac-Man, like how you got the name.
Oh yeah. Pacman Jones was one of my favorite football players.
Ah.
He was also, I think, in wrestling also.
Yeah, TNA. He won the
TNA.
tag titles with R-Truth
Yes.
in TNA.
Yeah. So that's where I got it from, was Pac-Man. I was like, man, that'd be a cool nickname. And so from there on, I was Pac-Man. And my whole mindset was, I think me and Cage talked about this. I was like, I want to be able to, talk like The Rock in third person. And refer myself as, me Pac-Man or something like that,
Yeah.
and refer to, like, as The Rock says, the millions of fans. I want to say the millions of gamers. So it was just all different ideas I was trying to come together with. But
I think you were always an okay promo, but then literally right before the Money in the Bank, we did promos for people that were going to be in the Money in the Bank match. And I think that was the one where you were like, I've had a lot of, I won matches I won a lot of matches I shouldn't have won, and I lost a lot of matches I shouldn't have lost. But now, for all you gamers, it's time to show everybody it's game over. And
What up, gamers? Tonight is the night, baby. Money in the Bank. Look, I've been in last year's Money in the Bank, but guess what? I'm back again, baby. I know I lost last year, but tonight is my night. Tonight is the night I fulfill my destiny. I know me and Bama Kid, we're the tag team champions, but we done laid our differences to the side. Who wins, it's a win. If you lose, it's a lose. We all on the understanding. We're on the same mind. Look, I know I've been on a roller coaster lately. I've won some that I shouldn't have won, and I've lost some that I shouldn't have lost. But I'm here to tell you today that I am going to win the Money in the Bank, because I'm the top player of this whole KBW game. And that's a wrap. Game over.
like, that was right before the I'll put a clip of it in here.
Great
as
promo
well.
right there.
It was really good promo. Like, again, like, slowly but surely you can see guys gain the confidence in themselves in promos, in matches, in their ability to call matches and stuff over the years. And, like, you are right up there at the top of the list of, like, how good you were. And that's one of the reasons these fans love you so much and they wanted you to come on this podcast so bad, is because you captured the hearts and minds of a lot of people. Like, we don't realize it, but, like, we had over 6 videos with 1 million views, and I believe you're in 4 or 5 of those videos, right?
Yeah.
So it's like millions of people have seen you. It's insane to think about, and like hundreds of thousands of people are fans of Pac-Man. That's insane, right? And it's just a testament for how much you were dedicated to it, and I appreciate that.
Yeah, me too, man.
oh yeah.
And then,
I think
like,
you were about to say your favorite match.
Oh, yeah, your favorite
Before we
match.
got sidetracked to say, like, what would you say your favorite match in the KBW?
I think my favorite top match, I think my performance was top notch. I lost, but still. Do you remember our second match, Cage?
I think I like it better than our first. I mean,
I
'cause
like it
you
way
didn't win
better.
that one. You didn't win that one, but, like, we went all out. We did everything. I took which one? Not the cheat code, but the
No, it was the game. I think we did the game over off the ladder, didn't we?
we did the game
or-
over off
and
the
then-
ladder, and I rolled to the floor. But I took that thing on the outside on the ladder, the suplex turn, the jackhammer move that you
No,
give.
Extra Life.
What was the name of it? Extra Life. I took it on the ladder as well.
Yeah.
I think he's going for the extra life on the.
And he hits him with the extra life.
Right on the ladder.
That hurt, but you were clicking on all cylinders in that match, bro. We went for, again, about 20 minutes. We called back to the first match. It looked like you were going to go for the game over on the chair again, but I reversed it and got you with the DDT. You were down to take a suplex on the ground, so I think we did a suplex on the ground in that one.
And then I think you was either I was on the ladder or you was on the ladder, and we pretty much jumped and knocked each other off. So
yeah, you were up on the ladder, and I did a jumping clothesline.
Yeah.
And we went up. That match is classic, bro.
Yeah.
I love that match. I wish
every time I refer back to KBW, that is one of the first matches, that I go to. I'm like, everything clicked. So
everything clicked, and that wasn't too long either. Before or after we've already revealed it on podcast episode 2. You dressed up as the Bama Kid. Which, fun fact, ladies and gentlemen, when I called Pacman to be a part of this podcast, he had completely forgot about it. He was like, "Are you sure I was the Bama Kid ever?" I was like, "Yes, we wrestled each other."
Yeah, we still haven't really revealed the Bama Kid, guys. He's out there somewhere.
I think he's over at Taco Bell right now.
Oh, that's so wrong.
Oh my
gosh. But I don't want to overshoot that match. Me and you had was so good. And again, I suggest people, if you want to go down memory lane and see one of our best matches, definitely go back and watch the Team KBW qualifier, Pacman versus KAGE 2, because it was great. It was really, really good. There was a lot of classic moments. But again, I love that Bama Kid match too. You were the only person I trusted that could do the movements, right? I tried to be smooth with my arms, but Pacman is like bent over with his arms.
Looking like a superhero.
Yeah. It doesn't look... It's so funny going back and watching that match, because like you even do a dive as Bama Kid off the top of the ladder, but it kicks out from under you. So I had to come and make the save.
It's also just like different mannerisms, It's like it's different personality types, different builds. It's just that's mostly how it goes when you try to, play as another character that you're not originally as. So that's definitely understandable. But I think he did a pretty good job.
But he did well.
I was about to say, I think.
Yeah, he did great.
It went really,
really
well.
Anytime, you got Bama Kid in a match, whether I was playing. So we had to make sure Bama Kid was doing some kind of flip. But you remember the match where I think it was a ladder match or something, or it's where Bama Kid and Pacman won together. And I think one Major Brown in this one, he did a backflip off the...
No, so you're conflating two matches, right? So in December and in January, we had 2 pay-per-views. The first pay-per-view was Blood, Sweat, and Tears, right?
Yeah.
And in Blood, Sweat, and Tears, it was a tag TLC. So it was Great Dane and Pitbull versus Mick the Brick and T-Rex versus D-Man and Maxilla versus me and you, Bama Kid and Pacman.
Yeah.
We won the titles in that match. A month later, we did Money in the Bank, which had Major Brown in it, and you won that one where we did the game over off the top of the ladder. So you're conflating 2 of them right now, but what were you going to say?
Oh, man, I was just saying that was also a good match. That
they both were great matches.
The one where me and you was tag team and one of them, and I believe we won. I think a lot of fans were happy that we came up with the win on that one. So
yeah, I just remember,
like I said, just clicked together.
I just remember what's his name got busted open like really bad. Was it Mick the Brick?
Mick the Brick. I need to get that photo. Yeah. I need to get that photo.
He got it. I got it.
Yeah.
And I'm posting it, everybody, and I think Mick the Brick's sister is calling everybody, commenting, "What did y'all do to my brother? What did y'all do to my brother?" I'm like, we beat him to sleep. But
they thought we got a real fight because Mick the Brick's nose started bleeding.
The whole time she's thinking we done jumped him over here.
Oh yeah.
And I'm like, all right, calm down.
It was a small nosebleed, and he rubbed it on his face to make it look like it was crazy. The quality is so poor on the video, you can't even see it well.
You can't see it in the video.
But the picture
the picture's great.
Oh, perfect.
We'll insert it here as well, right? But like that match, we did a bunch of tag team moves. We did stuff through a table on the outside. Like that tag match is great, and it was our WrestleMania, Blood, Sweat, Tears, our WrestleMania. And what better way to have our top baby faces win the tag titles? Bama Kid won 2 titles in that night, but the first one was with you in that tag TLC match, and a lot of people were happy about that because, like I said, you had been on a losing streak. Bama Kid had never held a title, and y'all finally that culmination of that story of y'all's tagging together worked out, and y'all were the last ever KBW Tag Team Champions. We only had 2 sets of champions in the whole time the tag titles were a thing. But I thought that they have a fun legacy.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, the legacy is top notch. Bama Kid, Pacman. I would say D-Man and Maxilla and Bama Kid and Pacman were our main tag teams that really stride, and a lot of people
and make the Bring T-Rex.
Yeah, make the Bring T-Rex, of course. But that was more on the heelish side of things, I would say. Our heel tag team. Make the Bring.
Yeah, and but that tag team was classic, man. Yeah. And then as well as Pac-Man. Oh God, I had what I was gonna say, lost it. But the tag team, phenomenal. And again, Pac-Man had been losing so much that I thought the fans were super happy that he finally got to be champion. Yeah. Do you have any? Let me see how I want to word this. We're also going to react to that tag TLC after this podcast is over. The next react, I don't know if it goes up Thursday or Friday, we will be reacting to the tag TLC match with Bama Kid and Pac-Man win the title. So be on the lookout for that coming very soon as well.
Views go up, baby. Make the views go up.
You know what I'm saying? And then we had that Money in the Bank match. Did you believe me when I told you, hey, you're going to win the Money in the Bank? Because I told you for months that was going to happen. But, I'm sure it was exhausting because you lost a lot of it. You lost to Major Brown. You lost to Paul Wall. You lost to the Bulldozer. You lost to me. There was a lot of losses that were stacking up. But I felt like I finally made things right by giving you the tag title and then eventually the Money in the Bank.
Yeah. I mean, everybody's got to have their share. Can't win them all, people. Nah, but everybody, you can't. If you keep somebody on top too long, it'll get kind of played out, and everybody's got to have their share. And I'm a team player at the end of the day, so. I was young then. It probably hit my pride probably a little bit when I was younger, but now that I look at it, I'm like, hey, it made sense.
Hey, you were much more of a team player than that guy sitting next to you because that dude did not like losing at all.
No, but to be fair, you guys kind of spoiled me. At the beginning, I went on this win streak, never lost, so it just kind of stuck in my head.
Bulldozer's idea is, he was like, look at me, dude. I'm, bigger and stronger than anybody in this.
Biggest and baddest.
Bigger than baddest. And then he's going against, puny people like Pac-Man and short, midget people like D-Man. Shout out to my boy D-Man. Hey, but to him, it just made sense that, hey, I got to demolish these people. But, KBW is just totally different, man. We got to set it up where everybody can win.
And then people thought that you weren't going to ever get to cash in. But like I said, we had a match eventually 2 years later, pretty much. Because I was back and forth from college in Oklahoma to Alabama. Eventually, we decided, hey, Big Time Mike's here. We're going to do this final match, a.k.a. versus KAGE versus Big Time Mike. But I was like, man, what would be great is if we could have Pac-Man show up and cash in. So I made the phone call. We'd already got the Beast a few weeks earlier. He wrestled KAGE and then had his final match ever and kind of lost a career versus match, and he had got his send-off, but at the time, again, y'all were older, y'all were both had y'all's hands in different pots, different jobs. Once I left and KBW wasn't a weekly occurrence, y'all had real lives to get to, and I didn't think we were going to get you back. But when we finally got you back, I thought people really loved that you got to come back, and people wanted you to win the world title in the finale of KBW. Do you have any recollections of that?
Just here and there. I remember a couple of things. Like I said, I remember coming back just for a little bit. I think it was, I done started gaining weight that moment, didn't I, or something?
Yeah, you were already a little bit bigger. If you remember, it was so late in the afternoon that we had to pause the match. And then I said, everybody remember exactly what you was wearing. Don't wash whatever you wear. We got to come back a week from today.
All I did was threw my stuff in the trunk.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Man, I don't know if you remember this, and I'm gonna say this. KAGE was so dedicated. I think y'all already spoke about this in the podcast. KAGE was so dedicated to making sure everybody was there on time. Everybody was there to go over the matches and everything. This man can't drive. Look,
Hey, I've been
he was
to a few
talking
wrecks
about,
with him.
you know,
I can agree.
hey, he was talking about Bulldozer picking us up. Bulldozer's a pretty safe driver. KAGE one time was picking up us up at our house, and I'm ready. I got my mindset. I'm ready. We finna wrestle. We finna have a good time this whole time. But you got to know how my road is set up. There was a stop sign. KAGE didn't even stop at stop sign. I'm like, this dude don't never want me to see a title again. He's gonna paralyze me in this car race.
Listen, I was 16, 17, 18. That was over 10 years ago. I'm a much safer driver. Did I have my time of a few accidents in a row and a few speeding tickets in a row? Absolutely. I have calmed down as a father and in my age, but absolutely, I was a maniac, a speed demon on the road back in my day.
I was in a wreck with KAGE one time, and I remember we like kind of freaked out. It really wasn't like. Oh, actually, twice. Now that I think about it, because
because we got rear-ended one time.
Rear-ended, and
it was not my fault. It was not my fault. The second time was not my fault.
But yeah, the first time I remember you had to call your dad. And you was freaking out because it was
my first ever accident.
It was so. I think we was going to some party, and I think you hit.
We was coming back from a party. You were trying to switch CDs. This is how long it was ago, because there were still CDs.
It was so dark, I couldn't find where the CD could enter the slot.
No, there's a giant slot, and he's trying to put it above where the radio is actually inside of the car, like the little bitty.
See at night. I'm sorry. It's so dark.
Oh my God! I was trying to help him. We just eased over just enough to graze a barricade a little bit. It scraped up the side of that Volkswagen Passat that I rode in so many videos. But that is very funny that you called me out on my driving back as a kid, because I was.
Hey, I'm just trying to let the folks know that, man, we love to have fun during the matches. Man, we were serious, and we were standing on business and everything. But behind the scenes and
we had a lot
off camera. Man, we was the best friends, brothers, and everything.
And Bulldozer noticed where KAGE got his crazy driving from. It's from his mom. When me and Dozer was in it, we was going to New Orleans one night with Kate.
Oh my God, we went to WrestleMania. We went to WrestleMania 30. Yeah. Listen, hold on. We will save this story for next week, because this is about to cut off again.
No, come on.
Listen, we're about an hour deep.
This doesn't matter. Let's keep it going. We got
Okay, we got a guest. All right. Okay. If you want to tell the story, tell the story, okay?
Story time, baby.
WrestleMania 30. WrestleMania 30, this is in April of 2014. This is KBW still kind of going on, but not exactly going on at the time, because we're already training to be pro wrestlers.
Yeah, so...
I want to start off by saying this. I'm extremely grateful. KAGE got us these tickets to WrestleMania. So imagine me, wrestling my whole life, living out my dreams, going to see WrestleMania. And lo and behold, I didn't think I was going to make it to see WrestleMania. Because his mama was driving us, and she was going easily. I remember this vividly. I remember her radio would go up like extremely loud when she would go over like 100 miles an hour. And she kept having to turn it down. And then she raced this guy one time and went off the road like, on the side ramp. And I prayed to God.
No way.
If I made it back home safe, I would never ride with your mom again. And I've still lived up to that promise today. She took my senior pictures a couple years later. And she asked me, she was like, "You want to ride with me to take them?" I said, No, I'll just drive myself.
Yes, my mom was a photographer. That's one of the reasons we had so many props at my house for KBW.
And mind you, like where we live at, New Orleans is maybe like, close to 3 hours away. I'm shit you not. We got there like an hour and a half. That's how fast she was going.
Yes, from Mobile, Alabama to New Orleans is only about 2.5 hours. We got there way sooner because my mom was going 90 the whole way. That was an insane story to tell.
No, she ran a red light one time, and I was supposed to. You're supposed to. I'm going straight, and you're supposed to yield when somebody's going straight. You're gonna turn on the. But it was not the green arrow turning right. It was the yellow, so she was supposed to yield. And she acted like it was my fault. She called me and said, "Wait, Taylor, was that you? Was that you driving?" I'm like, "What? She's like, "That's okay. I'm not gonna tell you, Daddy." I'm like, "That's me." I'm like, but it's your fault. The whole time she cut me off, rear-ended me, not rear-ended me, but
Okay. We get it. Bad driving
driving.
runs in my family.
hey,
It runs in my
yeah,
family.
bad driving in
Okay.
the family.
Yeah. But yeah.
That's hilarious. I can't believe we went this deep.
Dude,
But I forgot about that WrestleMania
that
trip.
WrestleMania
That
trip
was I got
that's
it.
when Undertaker lost his streak. We witnessed that.
Street, yeah.
We witnessed
Yeah,
it.
we were there that night in New Orleans because we,
Dang.
like I said,
Oh,
do you remember
who was with us?
the TNA show, Dut? Do you remember the
Yeah.
TNA show we went to?
Yeah, I love the TNA show. We got to meet all the stars, man. I took a picture with Madison Rain.
Who all did I bring? It was me, you, Paul Wall. AK didn't go with us
I
that night, though. It was me. It was me,
Major
you,
Brown.
Paul, and Major Brown. Yep, that's who we
But-
all went. That was a
and Mr.
wild
O.
trip.
Didn't Paul?
And Mr. O came separately.
Didn't Paul Wall
But
go
you
with
know
us?
what's crazy? I went back on the
WrestleMania.
Paul Wall rode with his Uncle Rock. You know what I'm saying? His cousin.
Yeah.
They rode separately. Me, you, and Dustin rode together.
Okay.
With my mom, but they were there. Y'all, you sat with Paul
Yeah.
Wall. Me and Dut sat up above
I
y'all.
got a funny story about that. Y'all can go ahead. That's what I was about to say about TNA.
I mean, I feel like we're pretty close to wrapped
No.
up on the Pacman era, but like, what all do you have to say to your fans, Pacman?
So all my gamers out there, appreciate all the love and support. In KBW from start to finish. You'll be surprised, but I still have people reaching out to me, commenting. I'm a minister now, also an insurance adjuster, but I still have people commenting on my Facebook that's found out who I was, and they commenting saying, "Hey, the Pac-Man." Everybody's commenting saying, "Who's Pac-Man?" But they know me as Pac-Man when other people don't. So I appreciate your love and support from then until now, and just wish everybody the best.
And I think we should right a wrong right now, AK. I think because he didn't get to cash in properly, I think you should take that title from behind you right now, and we say, right now,
Is this happening?
the honorary last ever KBW World Champion is Pacman.
Yes, sir.
Bulldozer.
My gamers watch this. I want y'all to start commenting. Pac-Man is the greatest world champion in KBW. I want you to start doing it.
That's funny. That's a funny way. That's a funny thing
New
right
champ.
there. Do we have any other stories to tell? Is there anything else you remember from your time in KBW? Like I said, we really didn't touch on that great Pitbull match that you guys had because y'all had like a hardcore match again that y'all planned by yourself. That was really good right after the Money in the Bank. But besides that, I feel like we touched on all your most iconic matches. If you're in the comments and we feel like you haven't touched them, y'all let us know which ones we're
Do
missing.
you remember any funny things in the background, like backstage segments, other than like the KAGE thing, like promos you did, anything like that?
Oh, I'm gonna be honest with you. I look at my videos now and listen to my promos. Oh my god, it makes your skin crawl. They were so corny. So that was probably funny to
Same, mine
people. They
too.
was like, yeah. So, yeah, like it was all a blast, AK.
Oh yeah.
At the end of the day, you just most stuff I can remember, some stuff I can't. But as time goes on, you can just, I guess, I'll tell my brother all the time, the Beast, and man, it's crazy how one day you stop and you actually think it's just every memory starts coming back. And of course, KBW is one of the greatest ones, and I really mean that. So.
Awesome.
Yeah, I think there's a great quote that kind of sums it up. I wish you could realize you're in the good old days as they're happening, right?
Yeah.
But that's what sums up. And I told these guys a couple weeks ago on the pod, I'll tell you now, I feel like we have this special fraternity almost that like, even though we might be in different spots in life, we will always be forever connected as that group of kids that did KBW together. And like, there's a special bond between certain people that was like dedicated to KBW that you'll never be able to take away from us. That we'll always be able to look back on. They say you don't have to have things in common with people you grew up with because you have your whole life in common. And that's so true in a lot of ways when it comes to us. And so this is why this podcast has been such a joy to us. Yeah. Because, again, we go back and watch things that we completely forgot about and bring up stories that we haven't thought of in years. And we laugh just as hard as we did, if not harder now, than we did back then. And, like, that's why it's such a joy. I'm so glad you made time. I know you had to travel out of your way to come do this. I hope the fans appreciate this as much as we appreciate you coming and being a part of this.
Yeah, thank you so much, Pacman, for being on the podcast. A lot of people wanted it, and I'm so happy that you decided to do it, and man, it means a lot.
Man, it was a privilege. Thank y'all for everything y'all do. Like I said, everything is never unnoticed. So I appreciate it.
When we come back to Alabama, man, we gotta hang out. We gotta, get some dinner or something. Hang out.
Yeah, get together and take a picture and let the fans know that we still doing this thing, man.
For sure.
And KAGE is he's pretty much making it big time now. So dinner on you.
Dinner will be on me if we again, I guess.
Nah,
dinner
man.
Would be on
hey,
me.
I got every one of y'all, man. So.
This has been the KBW podcast. Big thanks to Pacman. Big thanks to Bulldozer. Big thanks to AK. Thanks to you guys for joining us. Remember, me and AK stream on Twitch weekly. Yes. Our Twitch channels are in the links below. The new KBW TikTok and Instagram will also be linked below, as well as all of our social medias. Check them out. Shoot us a message. Yes. Comment on the videos. Share the reels. All that fun stuff. Tell us your favorite moments. Even if you haven't commented before, Pacman will be in the comments wanting to see what you guys said. So definitely check it all out. And we will see you next week. Wait. Actually, we'll see you.
One of the things we can talk about Twitch is I want to throw it out there. I got W2K23. So Sunday, y'all probably see this later, but I'm going to start doing Sunday nights and also probably throughout the week 1v1ing people in W2K23. If you want to have a match with me in the game, we can do that. So follow me on Twitch. I will be live streaming it. I also stream a lot of other different games. I'm streaming Baldur's Gate 3 right now, and Rainbow Six Siege, Warzone with Fuego. We do a lot of streams. So yeah, go check out our streams and check out our Twitches for sure, because it's gonna be a fun time. If you want to get in on that jazz and play W2K23 with me, let's do it. Just want to put that in there before we go. Make sure everyone knows.
And stay tuned for another upload this week with Pacman. We're going to be reacting to the tag TLC, where him and Bama Kid won the championships. We'll see you next week on the KBW podcast. Bye.
Peace.